Matthew Holt, where are you?
I am very nearly at the rooftop of Salesforce Tower, which is somewhere up over there.
You're going to shout out all the gossip we've got on this episode of Health in 2.00. All right, sir. I like this urban garden that you found yourself in. Are you ready to talk trash about EMRs?
Lost in San Francisco, like a couple of the companies that we're going to be talking about today soon, surely.
Absolutely. All right. I have the timer because you were otherwise unable to. You were on your phone. So I'm going to set it. Ready? Here we go. Okay. So Alto startup pharmacy raises $250 million from Softbank. Softbank money.
Okay, well, this is the gossip I had. I beat Chrissy Farr by like 3 weeks on this. I'm very proud of myself. Interesting, all this money coming into pharmacy delivery and pharmacy specialty delivery. I wonder, because if you look at the big pharmacy chains, CVS and Walgreens, their stock is going south or nowhere. So,
Okay, 2 more raises. We had MedLoop, which raised 6 million euros. What does this one do?
Something to do with communication with patients. Stole the name from HealthLoop. Jordan Schlane should sue.
Agreed. All right, what about Spring Health? This is a mental health startup, 22 million for them.
Just another mental health startup trying to match you with the best therapist. Seem to be a lot of those. Crowded market. We'll see.
I agree. All right, now to the EMR dirt. Oh, Judy Faulkner and her letter. What do you think about that, big boy?
Okay, so what happened is Judy Faulkner, right as the rules were about to be done before the ONC meeting happened on Monday and Tuesday, Judy Faulkner of Epic wrote a letter to all the hospitals saying, hey, you should protest these rules because our data has to be kept safe between you, me, Epic, and the hospitals. And we already shared out enough, and patients went ballistic correctly. On the other hand, Judy is a true believer. She really believes that you should not, that the data should be safeguarded, even though most of the patients rightly are going ballistic about it. And she's been saying this, and you can download Lucy. And anybody who can download Lucy from Epic and actually make it work gets my congratulations.
All right. What about Practice Fusion? Some more EMR drama. Oh my God, we have so much to talk about.
Okay.
EMR.
Well, this one is going to go well beyond that thing because I have lots of connections and dirt here. I actually had Ryan Howard from Practice Fusion in my kitchen in 2006. Well, tell me about what he's going to do and how he's going to add support to the EMR network and all this kind of stuff. And actually, I think it was in the early days a really good product. It was one of the first web-based EMRs. It was a good product. And then, as they started raising money, things went south. So the first thing that started happening was he started, fibbing about the numbers. And I kind of had a falling out with him in 2011 about some numbers that he proclaimed about how many users they had. When they never had that many, it was just BS. Then things happened, right? They weren't growing as fast. He eventually got replaced as CEO, but not before they had cheated on their ONC certification, the meaningful use certification. So that's part of the fine. But the thing which is similar to what happened to Greenway and in bigger terms, eClinical Works. But the real thing that made all the fuss was that they had a bigger criminal fine, $25 million for taking $1 million from Purdue, the makers of OxyContin, for basically pushing in their clinical decision support and pushing opiates and allowing Purdue to write the rules for how they push them. This to me is a bigger can of worms. I don't know. The DOJ and the DEA have not got a good track record on what actually were the appropriate steps and appropriate guidelines for opiates. But what Practice Fusion was doing was at the least incredibly risky, and they were doing it really late, from 2016 onwards all the way through to 2018 and maybe 2019, under the post-Ryan Howard management of Tom Langham, and and even after Allscripts purchased them, it looks like. So I think there's more to come from that. Who knows if there's going to be any more criminal investigations there? But it shows that there are a lot of careful things you have to do if you're running a startup, and you can go too close to the sun, too close to the edge, and be too desperate.
Hey, do you think
cautionary tale?
25 million is an appropriate fine for that?
I mean, McKesson another San Francisco company, some people have heard of, got fined 150 million for what its role in the opiate thing. And, the Sacklers are going to get in big trouble personally. The people who own Purdue's going to eventually go bankrupt over this because we have an opiate crisis, and those guys clearly, helped stir it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nuance to what went wrong in the world of opiates. Practice Fusion's the minor bit player in that. But it's definitely a massive cautionary tale for any staff about involvements with pharma and how they're being perceived, especially as it happened so late in the opiate crisis. This was not 2003, 2005. This was 2014, 15, 16. Unclear whose fault it was, but eventually we'll find out.
So much going on. We're finally going to be able to talk about things other than interoperability at HIMSS. Can't wait to run into these people.
We'll still be talking about interoperability. Don't worry.
No, we're not. I'm done. I've got other things I can talk about.
Grace Cordano and a bunch of the other grumpy patients will be talking about it for a long time to come.
Well, they should be. Absolutely. All of them.
I mean, Morgan Gleason, right? The wonderful young woman who's got lots of health problems. 23 separate Epic portals. 23 should get data from. None of them will let her download it to the right to an app she can control. That's what this is about, right? It's the people who this matters for are the very sick people. I mean, you and me, we're one or two doctors. Do we really care what the hell's in there? It's a pain in the ass to get my kids' vaccinations out. But for somebody who's got lots of detailed records in different places and wants to be able to control it in one place, this is a screaming big deal, and that's what this is about.
Absolutely.
And frankly, if those people don't care if their data gets resold in a Cambridge Analytica type scandal or whatever that Judy Faulkner is complaining about, what they're actually caring about is having access to their data so they can manage their own care, and that's much more important. So I'm more, I'm sort of on their side, although I do see that there is, there's a point, but I think we can control privacy and can control, and make those patients' lives better at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you happen to hear, you're going to kill me for asking this, but did you happen to hear?
We're beyond 2 minutes. You can't ask me any more questions.
I know. I get cut off. You never do. Unsilence Jessica, right?
Unsilence Jessica. Okay, unsilence Jessica. What do we happen to hear?
All I wanted to ask was, in the end, remember how the big tech companies were not going to go to that OMC meeting and participate in the making of those rules? So Google, Amazon, Apple, they were not. And then this whole Judy Faulkner thing happened. And then now they were going to come back into that meeting.
No. Well, so
going up or no?
A bunch of people signed a letter, including Cerner and Apple, saying they wanted the rules as is. So Epic is kind of on its own here, but of course Epic is a huge player with the biggest share of most hospitals in America. So we're going to see how that plays out. And you can say Judy's a true believer who really thinks that those evil app makers are out to get the patients, which in some cases they are, right? The Cambridge Analyticas of the world will be interested. You can also say that they're just defending their own turf. I actually think that if Epic, embraced it and really made access open, easy, but also, controlled and followed up in a way that, say, Facebook never did with what happens to people's data, they actually could really push the whole movement ahead. And, I think Epic is still potentially an ally. And sort of Ken Mandel and Zach Cohen, when they wrote in Stat, kind of said the same thing. They didn't like what Epic had said, but they thought that Epic could still be an ally if they wanted to play. And so let's hope they will be. But right now, this is a burning issue. Burning. And it does concern.
Finally, a different kind of fire other than FHIR to talk about.
God.
I'm sorry. I'm whipping out all my HIMSS jokes early. Okay, so if you want to follow more along about what we're talking about, of course, you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Justamasa. He is, of course, at BoltyBoy. And be sure to check out the healthcare blog at thehealthcareblog.com, where you can find episodes of Health in 2.0, as well as a bunch of other people weighing in on all of the things we just talked about, especially the health data privacy things and some of this data sharing stuff. We've got some experts who have weighed in on that already with great articles that are up there right now. Matthew?
Jessica, thank you for putting up with me and indulging me in my urban, rural setting.
Yeah. Of the setting, or to hear you go on and on and on, but
But you're right, I'm going to indulge myself both ways. There's a lovely sunset over there in San Francisco. I'm trying to sort of get on location, make the viewers interested about what we're doing. Can I do what?
Wrap it up.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you later.